Yeah, you don't have to bill them for bills, yeah, that you write checks for to send out in the morning.
Oh. Yeah.
Just put on executive mute.
Well, I called for it, but she forgot it, so we.
I was gonna say it wasn't on my original.
These are things that, especially so good. I'm coming through some moments with this.
Thank you.
Yes.
I deleted our test yet 2 days ago. Otherwise, we could get up to my test because I had a lesson. Besides, I forgot that. I would have laughed. We didn't have to do any yes, Talk to me. I just want to
Of course, that wall. We asked if it was the same one or if we were okay with the width one, this is what we prefer. I said we prefer, but obviously beggars can't be choosers, and we gotta go with what we get, so. What? Well, they don't know if they can get it mounted for that. Yeah, so they're still looking at it. So whatever you can do with private ones, you can.
25 years.
25 years.
No, but I did.
It's just my work. You got too many issues.
By the way, mute yourself.
Yeah, it took me a second. Finally, I thought-
I should tell it to automatically move, shouldn't
No, because John needs to speak.
I? Well, it'll just auto mute when he first goes on. He can unmute. I'm not preventing him from not muting.
All right, everybody. Sorry, it's taking a few minutes to get extra paperwork together and stuff, so we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome everybody to town council for Wednesday, November 12th. I had to think of what month it was. Teresa, would you lead us in the vote, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda? Motion by Wayne, second by Teresa. Any further discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes for September 9th, 2025.
I motion to approve the minutes.
By Brad, second by Teresa. Any further discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. We don't need a move to approve work meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to approve accounts payable for payroll for October? Get power up. Airports too. That is, but the meter out there, there's not a whole lot. Sure, there's a meter out there.
Right.
I don't know. That means we need to go on it. Second, correct?
Yes.
I second
In
We didn't have a motion yet.
approval of payroll,
Hold on a second. If you want,
it. Motion to accept the payroll.
motion by Brad, second by Teresa. Any further discussion? You're not all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
if it can be that kind of month.
Amazing.
Works in public recognition. I got one that I'd like to share. Somebody else would probably like to share it too, but the girls took state at volleyball this year. That was a pretty cool deal. Yes. Kind of have a vengeance against. Volleyball team, the good job they did. Any others? Good. Unfinished business. This storm. Would you please? We're gonna discuss the coins that we're gonna do as,
You want the mic on?
yeah, it would hurt.
Just hold the button until the red light comes up. You're on.
You're on.
Okay. Alright, so for the coins for the 250-year celebration of America, the town's making their own coin that the kids at the high school get to participate in designing. And I just wanted your input. Really cool picture, there's pictures. So on the county side, they have like their own lettering that they have on there, so I thought that as a council, we should decide what lettering we want on our side of the coin, and then the students can fill in the designs. So if we just want it to be Cokeville, Wyoming, if you want to have it the year it was instated in 2026, or if there's like a town motto we want to put on the bottom, anything like that.
Also, and you,
Oh, I like the years.
Yeah, I like,
On each side.
I do like the year where,
Yeah.
you know, we're first incorporated.
I do
I
too.
think that would be good on it. I don't know as far as like a motto or something you would have to.
We could just have Cokeville, Wyoming on the top, Cokeville,
We're still
Wyoming on
working,
the
we're still
bottom.
working on it. We're not there yet, but.
Okay,
And then have the years on both sides. Is that fine?
I didn't hear you.
So Cokeville, Wyoming on the top, Cokeville, Wyoming on the bottom, and then the years. I just feel like to round it out. Cause on theirs they have Lincoln County and then we have the years and then the semi-centennial, but we can do that on that side as well. If we wanna just reiterate.
can I see that again?
Yeah.
If we do. Maybe like Cokeville on the top, a year on one side, a year on the other, then Wyoming on the bottom,
Yeah,
maybe by that, something like that, could it be balanced that way, I think.
or you can just do the semi-continuum on the bottom.
Exact same thing.
They have the years on the left. But I kind of don't mind the year like. Side, I kind of like that idea. You guys wanna look at this one?
I got a copy of that, maybe they're wrong.
I just don't have my memory on it, but. Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
So Cokeville on the top, Wyoming on the bottom, and then both years. Okay.
All in favor of that?
Aye.
And then I've also, in the packet, it talks about doing the history, present, and the future, but we just wanna focus on history of Cokeville.
Yeah, I think we wanna mostly focus on history, because we can't predict our future very well.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
Unless we turn the lights on.
Oh.
we could get some creativity out of that, but.
It's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Brought for the council today. It's just gonna add. Like this moment.
What are you talking about?
We can talk about this, I didn't have it slated as a resolution, more of a review, but if we wanted to go ahead and. Push it through, we could, we'd like you guys, as the director council, to kind of give the 2 cents and input on it.
Yeah, I think it's a great starting point for a conversation. So I don't know if you want, what form you want to have that discussion. with.
I don't,
Not necessarily.
current form right now is not ready for resolution, I don't believe.
Sure.
So I was gonna just have a discussion on my section on that. Like that.
Thanks.
Section for sure.
Okay. All right, it looks like we're up to public comment and communications. Any public comment today? Dennis, would you mind coming up?
Oh, I just didn't tell you from here. I just wanted
Yeah.
to thank you for getting on the toilet downstairs. Hopefully you'll get it fixed. It's been a bit, kind of a mess at your work.
Mike's been working on it,
But I appreciate that from the scene.
doing our best. Thank you. Any other public comment?
No problem there. Um. I was just gonna let you know, on behalf of the SLEC, so I just received a, there's a Terra Power kind of meet and greet tomorrow for those who are interested in coming. And I will plan on being there. It is a breakfast that will be held at the hotel there. Let me find it just real quick and I can actually tell you
The Best Western.
specifically. Yeah, did you get that same?
I got it, I think, but I just want to make sure I'm thinking right.
Yeah, so it's, yeah, Best Western Hostel Country Inn. It's from 7:45 to 9:15 a.m. Chris Levesque will be there, who's the CEO of Terra Power, and along with a few other higher ups, the project director, the director of construction and plant operations, and I believe they will be giving an update. So if you're interested in like maybe asking questions or hearing about that update, that might be a good place for you to at least listen. But I plan on taking notes and I'll just let whoever wants to know what was talked about as far as updates go. So anyway, there is that. I just want to let you know that that's an option. And then I've just been sending Mayor Colby Peck a few things that the town's working on. And I know there is like a survey for a BWXT nuclear reactor project that they're trying to kind of get a feel for how maybe that would be received. So that might be something that if that's something we want in our area to kind of maybe highlight. I don't know if they've picked a destination in, if they're eyeing a place specifically for this project to come in and build. And if they haven't, I feel like Lincoln County is a great option and we've benefited so much from the projects coming in that I feel like we should welcome more, but that is completely up to you and how you feel about that industry. So if you so desire, Colby has that information that you can read through it, see what it is more about. And if you so desire, you can post a comment to them, whether you're a yay or a nay or a, I don't really care. So, anyway, that's all I have. Right now, so.
Further public comment? Good, well, if not, we're gonna move on to our reports for the councilman and officer boards. Councilman Nate, you're up first.
Yeah, there's nothing more just besides a few of the dams or whatever that we put in some of the potholes, but other than that, and as far as Graham goes, I talked with Mike, he says everything's pretty good, sure, so nothing to really report.
Councilman Lewis.
So, the date for Santa Claus and the elementary kids at the library is set for December the 23rd from 8:15 until noon. It's a half a day of school and they'll take them down a grade at a time and see Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus. So that's the 23rd of December.
Cool. Just take it right up there to Christmas.
That's right. That's right. And that was in conjunction with the school. The school thought that between the school, the town and the library, it just seemed the best day because kids only have half day. So, so that helps them get in more excited. And so probably the week before, I'll get a hold of Rollins and make sure they have enough oranges for the town to get in the bags. And, we're not gonna do a lot of candy because I guess all the sweets kind of wound the kids up really good last year. And so we'll just put in a few things as then they have some special things to go in and we'll give them oranges, yes. So, and I'll do that few days before. I'm gonna hop ahead clear to Easter. Easter is the 5th of April next year. And it's conference Sunday, it's Easter weekend, and I don't think anybody wants to hang out on the 4th to have an Easter egg hunt. And so, so we talked about it at PTO this afternoon, and Colby's gonna catch us up some on that MOU. Particular one, because when I talked to Mr. Dietz, he thought it was a good idea, at least that's what we talked about. A good idea, having the Easter egg hunt in the gymnasium. And there's more room than having it here in the building. The only thing that I will need is some parents to come hang out and watch where the kiddos are going. And then when they're all done, we need to make sure the building's clean. So that's our response, that would be our responsibility. But until that MOU is solidified, I can't say for 100% certain that that's what we're gonna do.
The good thing is we got a little bit of time.
And we do, and we have a little bit of time. And that gives a community time to think about that too, but when everybody at PTO looked at their calendars, that it would be the 28th. Brent, is that what I told you? The 28th of March? That's the Saturday before. Yeah, I think, yeah, and that's what Mr. Deeds put in his too. So the Easter egg hunt would be the 28th of March. So, I think that's pretty much all I've got going on right now.
Okay, we have beautification committee that falls under your.
Right.
Still,
Right.
Sorry, now I do.
they've been working hard on putting some
Yes.
stuff
Oh,
together.
gosh.
Be
prepared. Amazed.
Amazed?
Yeah, no,
Whoa.
it's good. Okay, so we need, I know. I was just
they are.
kidding, but, we need two approvals tonight. The first one is that David Stocking be a committee member. He came to our meeting last week and we would like him to be part of our committee as a member and our final one for now, so.
And he had some amazing ideas.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, yeah.
Getting our male perspective.
Yeah.
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 A little too much estrogen going on. So if the council, we would love that.
We should probably ask him first.
Yeah.
Before we just vote you in.
We warned him ahead of time.
Does the council have any objections to that?
I don't.
I do not.
If not, all in favor?
All right, Davis, you're in.
You're in. The second one is our Christmas light contest. If you would like more information, Deb can come up, but just the big details is that we'll get it posted ASAP. The details of what it is, we got $300 from Cokeville Clinic donated. There'll be 3 categories that the townspeople will submit themselves. We'll see how that works this year. We may need to use the Cokeville Wyoming Facebook page. Is that the official?
We hope so.
Okay.
We're working on that.
Okay, whatever page, we don't have one, but so there can be a ballot on there that people don't wanna go submit one in person, but we'll have ballot boxes at the public buildings. So it'll start as soon as we can start advertising it and then end on the 17th and then winners be announced on the 18th at the elementary Christmas play. So that would be, those are kind of our dates and then
December.
We started with,
Us ending or starting?
starting.
Starting just after Thanksgiving, sure, yes. What was your date? Oh, December 1st, yep. We'll start advertising it soon so that get their ideas or whatever. And the weather is awesome and start
The 17th.
to the 17th, yep.
Hmm.
And then at the Christmas play on the 18th, we would announce the winners in those three categories.
So are these gonna be only in town
No,
people?
no, it's just all community, yes.
Okay,
Yep, everybody.
okay.
Community wide.
Why, you bet.
And Talisha Hobbs is donating some signs that we'll put in the winners for each category that they win, so yeah, anything else, Deb, we need to say about that? We're super grateful to the Cokeville Clinic for donating that money. Oh, there's no money. So, do you guys approve that?
Yes, ma'am.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and then just as an FYI, oh, another thing we do need to have approved, just some preliminary stuff, we are looking at the town motto and the town logo, so this is currently it, I believe. Welcome to the open range is the logo or the motto, and then the bucking horse is the logo, and we want to get public opinion on how they feel about that, if it's something that they want to keep, is something they want to update, as far as the motto slogan goes, and then also look into doing a new logo that could go on signage, just to create a cohesive, like, and on town workers trucks. I know Davis said they just redid the police stuff, but just to have a clear, concise, and I know Steamboat is very beloved in this, but I think we can be unique and come up with our own logo. However, if public opinion doesn't care, then we would stick with that, but so your permission to, we put out a poll to see what the public thinks before we do much else, or if you aren't interested, then we would.
You sad over that?
I just have a question. Actually, where'd you go to school?
I graduated with brown and gold, but I almost graduated from BYU. I went there 1 year, I didn't really almost graduate from there. I respect Steamboat, I do. But we can, I feel like we can be unique and find a different logo that is more of Cokeville, but if, like I said, if the public is like, nope, we like it, then we wouldn't change it.
Mike? I'm sorry.
Just thought, when I moved back, the logo they had was, they like small town, big heart or something like that. And it wasn't, I mean, every community in the country wants to have that. There's nothing distinctive.
Yes.
So yeah, I think in this discussion, you talk about identity and branding.
Mhm.
Yeah, what is the identity? You know, and what draws people here, ties kind of, you know, even in tourism type mindset. So yeah, I really applaud the process.
Like I said, it's not up to us, it's up to the community. If they like it, then
I was on council with Charles and he put this into effect. We did a lot of work on that logo there. I like that logo.
you like Steamboat. Okay, I do too. I respect him. I do. And I'm not, like I said, it's, if, the reason why we need to know this is because as part of the grant, this wall is gonna be the main mural. So when we crunch some numbers, since the wall wasn't decided on last time, is that correct? Like, for sure, that's what Brittany said, it wasn't
We
like,
never were like, this is
this
for
is
sure what
the
we're
wall.
doing. Like, we voted that we can move forward with it, but it was
Yeah.
never.
I think it was contingent on being able to obtain that
Right.
grant.
Okay.
Exactly.
So our line item was the $18,000 to pay for the mural artist. Based off of what Starlight Arts Council told me, that would be way overpaying for just one wall. So our thoughts were, we do the mural on here and then on the firehouse wall, I wish I could show, it's just,
just nothing behind it, just Cokeville, but with the town slogan with it. So it's just painting the brick with the lettering, but welcome to the open range is what we wanna keep, that's going up there. So I am indifferent to the slogan, the motto, there were some creative ones, the one I found, it was like Hooker, Tennessee, a location, not a location, I was like, I wish I could be tongue in cheek, like something like that, that people just laugh about, but this is great too, so that just needs to be decided on. So that when we put it up there, it can stay for longevity.
We have a comment right there.
Oh, yeah.
I would just caution that we do this just for the mere purpose that there was a lot of time spent on that logo. And now you've got that kind of in place. If every 10 years we're coming up with another logo or slogan, you'll never ever have a slogan or a logo that sticks.
I guess I was not aware that this was, Teresa said it was when she was little.
Yeah, no, well, in school, but my family was, but
Oh.
he did the ending one.
Oh, okay, no, that's
Yeah.
okay, I just didn't, I also don't think that anybody really knows that it's that, so.
I think I had no idea that we had a logo and that we had, I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't been back that long. But whatever it is, we want a brand with it. And so if we're fine to keep it.
Yes,
But we
yes,
just
no,
wanna have it
that's,
places that people get more pride in their community
Yes.
because they, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't even know, and maybe
Yeah.
maybe that'll help people.
But
In
that horse
discussions
was
that-
part of it. Oh, yeah.
In discussions that I've had with Ashby, I haven't had it with anybody else really yet, but, as we're going forward, we gotta get new signage, we're getting new signage in town, we're gonna go for new mural. All this stuff, I think we need to tie together and be cohesive all the way across the town. And I think it's important that we make that. I don't mind this logo, I really actually like the logo, I think it rings to what we are around here, but. I also am indifferent, I don't also really care what the community decides they want. But I do think that. Like I said, not most people know about it, and that's because it hasn't been used on. Send out on occasion.
Right, yeah.
So the people don't
You
see
see it
it.
out on this billboard a lot.
Oh, that's true.
The marquee?
I just didn't know that was our town logo.
Yeah, it's there, it's just, that's the only place we have to display.
Maybe
it.
that's because of Steamboat is everywhere.
I was gonna say, Steamboat's
And we don't
Wyoming
know,
to
but
me.
then-
I guess- To be blunt, I would vote for something different on the logo, because that's actually like Wyoming's logo, not Cokeville's, but I'm not gonna offend anybody, if you like it, go for it.
Also.
Would I rather have a cougar? No, I'm totally kidding, I am kidding.
Also, I will say this, we're gonna have a discussion tonight about a vision, some mission and some core values for the town. And I think that should tie together with our motto as well.
Yeah.
So I think maybe we just need to have that full discussion together and. I think maybe community input on what they want or not want is important, so I don't know what the council feels about that.
I think it's important.
And obviously the buck stops with you, like, if you are like, we put it out there and it's like you're voted in as our representatives, so. This is us just preliminary presenting it to you, we have not done any work other than. Let's talk about this at city council, so.
It does stop us until you hang the gallows out there and hang it down, so.
But then it really stops.
You get paid to make that.
My only reason.
One of the main reasons I got partial to this logo is, well, Charles spent a lot of work on it, but a former mayor. Who I think a lot of has passed. He was one of the. Ones that came up with that, welcome to the rain, well, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And I think that's fun to hear those stories, like,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know how many people know that. You know, and maybe it's just feel like, I haven't been back very long, but getting that out to the public and getting the emotions of people, I think will help maybe get people excited
Yeah,
about making our town great again. Or better than where we're at.
My opinion is I'm always about change or the opportunity for it. I don't think. I just don't want to be closed-minded. I think the community should have their involvement. I don't want to just say as a council that this is just the way it's gonna be. We'll just keep it the way it is. And I think a refresh every while is not a big deal. I'm not saying a refresh would be like maybe just the design of maybe the logo, but maybe not changing the motto as 100%, but.
Yeah.
I know sometimes the way the logo is. You have to have certain contrast with it to make it look better on websites and different things. So those are just simple things of changing,
Just
but you're really not changing the whole brand. You're just kind of making it visually better. So I think it's fine to let the community decide what they want and.
When was this instated, that logo and that motto? How many years?
18,
Yeah.
17.
Oh, so that's very
And just a little history, because we had the other motto and I don't know if the change was more driving that, but again, nothing distinctive. And just, to be honest, so I really like the movie Open Range.
Yeah.
And then I started driving through town or on the west side, it says Open Range. I'm like, that's kind of distinctive message about kind of who we are. So
Right.
But I think in these kind of situations, the best idea should win. It shouldn't, like if there's a better approach, if it's, something that something's come up with, that should be it. I obviously I like this one, but not married to it, and if there's a better approach, but more people support.
I would venture to say most people would stay like with that. It's actually listed as one of the top 10 in the Wyoming town slogans, so it's
So-
really.
Real quick, so I'm agreeing with the slogan, but like just having the bucking horse. It is not as unique between what the town is. Does that make sense? So I'm thinking you incorporate the bucking horse with some other design with it.
Yeah, that's kind of.
And that's really probably what could change, because I think everything else, like you said, I really like the open range.
Yeah,
And,
yep.
We were playing with designs with like bucking horse in front of a silhouette of Rocky Peak or something to be.
Yeah. Something to make it a
Just
little more
make it-
unique, yeah, and specific to Cokeville, but. I guess to bring it all back, do we have approval to get public opinion on this?
Yeah, I think so.
So. Township council, Phil will go around the polls, open it up to. Survey of some sort.
It's up to the town, whatever, if they wanna go on, that's one.
I think it doesn't hurt. Decide to go with it or not, that's a
Yeah,
different story.
it's up to you whether you decide to go with it.
My uncle Lyndon called me from Washington. After we had that meeting, and he asked me how things in Cokeville were going. And he said, and he grew up and went to high school in Star Valley. And he has cousins here when he was growing up, but he said, everywhere you go around there, it's the open range, and that's the way Cokeville's always been. Because of the sheep and the cows and everything. And I told him what we were talking about, of course, and then he up and died on me, but he said, don't change it. It's always been the open range of Cokeville. Even though it hadn't been on paper.
Yeah, no, that's great, and this is all just to make sure that we are sure. As we start putting it on things that are gonna probably stay for quite a long time, and that's. It's okay to say yes or no, so we'll go ahead and put out a poll. My last thing, sorry, I've taken up more time than I need to, is we did talk about town signage. There seemed to maybe be a little bit of some hesitation to get too far into it before we know how many signs. Davis said they were counting, like the
Yeah,
traffic signs.
we're still putting numbers to all of our
Okay.
street signs that we have, and there's also some signs we'll be adding, like children to play signs
Okay.
around the park, those kind of places. So maybe we can have a little bit more extra caution, more safety signage that we gotta put in there. So it's a process, but I think. Ultimately, we probably need to start putting our heads together around some ideas on putting some. In my opinion, some inviting beautification signs that kind of invite the tourism, invite
Yeah, right.
the public into the community.
And what we kind of talked about was maybe, I said, you know, that there's the generic silver pole with the green. But we can maybe do black or something that with different lettering, but if the budget, I don't know, Davis said that maybe this was 2 years ago that this was kind of all. Inflation is just crazy, so I don't know if it's at this point
So
possible, but,
signs are not cheap, but when you buy a lot of them, they get cheaper.
okay,
Posts are not cheap, but when you buy a lot of them, they get a little cheaper. The other thing is. I mean, we have a chunk of change, but. And I think it's enough to do our entire town with quite a bit of signage.
Okay.
The one thing that would easily eat up a that chunk of change is if we did a major welcome to Cokeville sign on the doors.
and that's what we were maybe gonna hold off on that.
I would,
Before we knew about signage.
yeah, I would say we probably better put hard numbers too, because we
Okay.
have to do our safety signage first. We are
Have you price checked on those yet? Your safety signs?
to a degree.
Okay.
We're just generally, so I had to have some general numbers when we went out the impact monies to get it.
Mm.
But, and we are required to do our safety signage first, then what's left, we can do wayfinding and tourism signs.
Okay.
So,
So we'll hold off a little, we just introduced it and we're gonna start paying attention to maybe different towns that have unique signage or something.
Yeah.
But we'll hold off till
I
we
think-
know a little bit more.
I think if we can get some ideas together, it would be good.
Okay,
Just so we're ahead of the game, cause I think. If we can get everything together, I'd like to have this implemented, we have the money coming in now, it is coming right now. So. If we can get these things together by May. We could be starting to plant these things in the ground if we get everything planned out and figured out. And Mike and Bentley will be working pretty hard to get all this stuff together in association with the officers, so.
Okay.
Getting our safety signs will be there. As well as some of our, basic wayfinding, like, we're definitely gonna put, here's the library, here's town hall, here's the senior center. Here's, those kind of things. Rodeo grounds are this way, the park's this way.
so you would like us to still keep looking at maybe a look of the sign?
I think it'd be,
And then if we find out that this looks too expensive, we'll adjust it.
yeah, we need to have maybe options that we
Okay.
can put together to say, okay, this fits our budget, our size, our town. And instead of saying 30 signs down Main Street, we do 15, something, I don't know
Okay.
what it's gonna be that way, but.
Well, we'll just go ahead then and keep talking about different ideas for signage and then we'll wait to hear what you guys find out for the count.
We just got nervous, cause obviously we haven't talked to anybody in person, but when I just kind of tried to Google search. What I came up with was like $200 a sign. And when you multiply that by all the stop signs we had, that was like $6,000 just in stop signs. I'm like, how do we do anything else? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I was like,
I'll bet will be $10,000 to $12,000 in just safety signage.
Okay,
To
okay,
be realistic there, I'm just, and that's just that's including our street signs. Our
Okay.
street name signs.
okay.
but those are like basic, right? Like nothing too fancy.
So,
Street.
I don't know if you've seen most of the street signs out there that have like, they're a green sign.
Yeah.
And they, on the one end, they have the logo or
Right,
the motto, one of them is like,
Is
yeah,
there somewhere? Okay.
yeah, they have some that have the logo on.
we don't have any in town.
In town, but in other places.
Oh, yes, okay, I see.
Yeah.
That-
So we
that's the
wanna
big-
get that
that's-
logo done
That's,
first.
that's why we're introducing.
before the
up
signs.
this.
Cause we want it all to tie together.
Yes, yeah.
Do you have to buy your sign at a certain place? That sign we got at the elementary was only $90. Yeah, it was cheap, but it had.
It's a metal
There,
sign.
there are some requirements on some
It
signs.
was,
Okay,
It's a metal sign. I didn't know if you had to go a
There,
certain place
there's-
to get city sign.
there's certain requirements for some signs like stop signs and yield signs and those things that they have to meet a certain dimension and certain reflective. So as long as they meet those standards, then we're fine, but
So you can shop around and you don't have to go to the certain place.
yeah, we fully can shop around and then. It's just like going to Sam's Club, the more you buy in bulk, cheaper you get, so. It's just one of those things we got, but once we put our plan together, it'll be a lot easier to say, okay, we need 5 Pearl Street signs. Well, I don't even know how many they're gonna be, but I'm just guessing. And then once we get all those together. Cause that's one thing we're seriously lacking is our street signage, which. That's important for 911 safety and all that stuff, plus, just wayfinding in general, address finding in general. There's a reason why Amazon can't deliver your packages to the correct address.
Is that part?
I thought it was just the post office problem.
But
Okay, well, I guess we'll let whoever you have on that, we can meet with them whenever they're ready to.
so I
Give
think
us
it'll
more
be an
information.
ongoing discussion for the
Okay.
next couple months for sure.
Okay.
And then hopefully we can put orders in by maybe the end of February,
Okay.
March. And we have them in our possession by April, May, and we can start planting and have them. I'd like to see them all in the ground and posted where they need to be posted. Early spring, summer,
Yeah,
so if we could.
yeah, we'll keep working on that. I think, sorry, that is all I have. That's a lot. Oh, yeah.
You're talking about banners as well, what's?
Yes, yep, so I did talk a little bit with Mayor Peck about that. If there were extra money, we talked about maybe Main Street ones versus the highway, I did talk to Talisha about that, but the highway I mean, if there are funds that we can find, fabulous, but if not, the highway would be a little bit more business donation related for advertising purposes as a double thing there so that they donate a banner, but they also get their advertising. So that would be my hope for that. If we had funds though, we could, I just don't know how we would choose the certain, like who to showcase or what to showcase. It would be a little bit trickier that way, but we can keep that in mind too but like you said, the north side might pick up but that isn't a lost idea. It just had to be put on the back burner with this grant, so. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Thanks. Ed.
If you stick with this one with welcome, I think that'd be nice if they could come up with any money. With your signage, being your signage to have that welcome, we got the welcome sign, but welcome to the open range, I think, that when even leave that one, put that as you're coming into town, but at least. If you had the, or it was, that's or what you're gonna go with.
Yeah, I think that would be part of part of the concept, I think, is to try to get that all tied together. So.
There's some signs you did going for. Your way for you, but it's not always most of your stop signs, so. But I have. Even 24-inch sign, well on the signs. If they're actually. Yeah, 20, maybe about 54.
Signs on a highway have to be bigger than what they are in the city.
Yeah, the one you would have to be bigger would be like the one that's entering out.
Because of the distance that you're driving, you gotta be able to see it.
Speed has an account with it.
Yeah, but this inside this town. There's probably a limit, but I'm sure it's quite a bit smaller. You don't have to have it as big.
Yeah, the only one we're required to have big is the ones that go into Highway 30. I think on Highway 30 and the speed of the traffic coming on here. And we might need to do the one down there by Fred's. But that's the only one that would have to be larger size probably.
Sounds good.
Okay. Where we at? Wait. You're up.
Just water, everything's okay for water. We got the line. The sewer line down there.
I live down that street.
And as I go to do, what's the status of the skating, you know?
We're waiting on the website.
Okay.
Soon as the website's done, they can finish building their server. And they can deploy it out here.
Okay. As far as the airport goes. I talked to Jason and he has no.
Charles,
Just a second, Mr. Mayor.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, the water, when the water tank runs over the overflow, it runs down and then there's a culvert. When it comes over, and it runs right down towards Drake's house.
Okay,
Lots of times you go up there and it's a lot of water in that, that's come over from the overflow. All we gotta do, and I'll get ready to do it, where that culvert is, if we just block that culvert, that water will go straight down into the canal. And then if it runs down the canal, it's not gonna hurt anything. I know a couple of people didn't like it because they said if you run it down, it might put something in the canal. But during the summer, when mud and that, it's no big deal. If you get this cold weather and it starts freezing, and it does, need to use that. If full ice, so we're gonna try and do that.
If we get the skate up, we run, that's gonna eliminate that.
yeah, once we get the SCADA system in, our runover shouldn't happen. Like they've had, because we're manually running our pumps right now because we don't have an automatic shut off on them.
Okay,
So once we get the automatic shut off stuff on them, it'll keep it, and Mike's gotta just babysit them, you know, to get done. Sorry, Mike, go ahead.
well, last couple of winters now, it was a big ice thing that was going without.
Yeah. That's part of the reason why we're putting the SCADA system in, so we can help remedy some of that.
3 weeks ago, we did put sandbags in front of that phone.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Makes a big difference down. And it don't hurt anything because there's a national. It's natural, there's a old ditch or something that goes right down there. Yeah.
Cool.
Charles?
We got application, Richard Tigert has submitted an application to add that garage to this property. Total number of square feet is 322. It's 10 feet on the edges, 14 on the height. Not setbacks, but it's 10 feet from the neighbors. Seth went through it with their form on Monday that went through this and recommended its approval. There was anything really questionable about it.
We need to, or is that, was that passed by?
Yeah, it's recommended.
Okay, I mean, they shouldn't, if they had a quorum and they had enough people to carry it forward, we don't have to need to do that.
Just a couple quick things, did make some progress on the master plan as far as the tourism plan associated with it. We sent a survey out to people involved with tourism within all the communities of Lincoln County. And the idea is to say, what is your degree of readiness to grow your tourism? You know, do you have attractions? Do you have a governing structure that helps you, make plans? Do you have lodging, a place for people to eat, community support and so forth? And so next time I'll bring that report. I can send it to Sir if you have the privilege of taking it. But it probably gives a pretty good snapshot about where Cokeville is and isn't in terms of that aspect of economic development, the tourism side. So that's their working on the Cokeville wy.gov. And I checked all the places you shared. It's fairly expensive if you're buying packages. It seems like I think we're looking, I ideally find a free DNS service just to redirect.
I believe I found one for you.
Okay. And so we could, Mayor, keep you in the loop and propose a solution and try and get that done as quickly as possible. And then it's
Some type of budget for it in case we have to do something
I think we should, because I think we need to go forward with getting it done.
as soon as
SCADA
possible.
is waiting on us to get this done, and they called me today. Kind of a little frustrated. I bought us a week and a half, so hopefully get it done in a week and a half.
What did you find on pricing? Just so we have a budget.
it varied. I think these packages are anywhere from like $250 a year to $1,000. And these are like much bigger patches than we need. We just need just kind of that focus. And, I actually reached out to Lincoln County IT and said, how do you do this for .gov? This is a lot more, this is more complicated than your normal, .com. And so, go visit with him tomorrow. You said you found something?
Yeah.
So that's what, is
Yeah.
that what's been holding us?
I think what we need to do is just approve a year amount that could be something we needed to use as a possibility depending on, just so that we don't have to worry about another meeting to where we have to approve that unless you want to do a special meeting for it.
I'd rather not. I think it'd be money ahead to just.
The lowest one was 250.
There was just a range and it was hard to understand. I was trying to strip it down just to a DNS server. And
What budget would that cover?
yeah, and that's the other question. I don't know if we have any problems with.
They would probably come out with a communication budget or administration of some sort, but I can make that work. We're gonna have some leeway in some of that anyway, but let's get it going.
Okay.
I think we could have,
Do you have a number in mind?
yeah, I think we realistically could. At least for this year, easily come up with $1,000. Going forward. I would probably try to err towards more of like a 500 range. If we could.
So pretty clear up to 1,000 this year.
Yeah,
Just trying.
if we gotta get started with something that we can prove up to 1,000, then I think that'd cover. Here, we might have to get a little more creative to figure it out if it does end up costing that much.
Yeah, and literally might be no cost, because we're hoping for that, so, but let's approve something.
We're all in favor of approving a budget of. $1,000,
Up to 1,000.
above to $1,000.
Okay.
I need a motion to put that.
Yeah.
You do it because I don't know.
All right. I motion that we approve up to $1,000 for services for the DNS website, for our website.
A second.
Motion by Brad, second by Teresa. Any further discussion? All in favor?
I,
To the quick things, I spoke with John Park. And after this with the mayor, we looked at December as the time to start some of this. We're kind of laying the groundwork for update. Kind of both short and long-term plans. Again, we've been working on these things concurrently as well. He's not that excited about into Wyoming in the winter time. All frozen, that's dangerous. And so we can look at, online work meetings with him. I don't know, just in the spirit of brainstorming, the council would even consider going down to Salt Lake as kind of a retreat. But just kind of throwing that out there right now. I'll get with him. He has some pre-work he wants to run by the council just in preparation for the next step. So there's more conversations. Trying to keep in the loop on that. And just, kind of interesting thing that there's a national magazine called Art of the West, and they did an article in this last edition on the workshop that we're in Cokeville. So it just gets our name out there just a little bit. Quite interesting. So that's all.
Okay. I have a few things. Impact fund, but John, are you on? Can you hear us? Can I hear you? That's another question.
So I can just ask to unmute him. Just so that's all it's allowing me to do. Can he hear us?
Can you hear us, John? We've got a text who says, just text me when you want me.
Okay. So he'll just have to unmute himself. I can see him.
Hey, can you hear me?
Hear you now. You hear us?
Great. How is everyone tonight?
Good.
Good. Should I just go ahead, Mayor?
Yeah, if you want to just discuss what we went through on the impact fees up there, I think it would be helpful for us.
Yeah. I asked the mayor if I could just take a moment because I know he's this humble soul that wouldn't really tell you what went on, but I think that the majority of the reason that Cokeville got that money was because of Mayor Colby's preparation and his testimony. At the end, there was several entities that were asking for the money, and I sat there. I don't know how you felt about it, Mayor, but some of them I kind of like, I'm not even sure what they're saying. And I could tell the commission had questions, and they, at the end, they said, well, we're going to pull some if we have questions. If we don't pull it, then it basically means you're going to get it. And we were one of the few that they didn't pull. They didn't even have any questions because the mayor explained to him in his testimony why the sewer needed to be increased and how you couldn't piecemeal it. And I was pleasantly surprised. I thought they might try to cut it down a little bit, but anyway, I just wanted to say that watching him in action, I think that the people of Cokeville are very well represented, and some other entities could probably, not to criticize, but they struggled much more than your mayor did. So did a great job, and that's a lot of money for Cokeville to get that, and it was a lot of work on the mayor's part. So that's all I wanted to jump on for.
Thank you, John. So as a matter of reference, just so the public is aware, there's two different numbers that are associated with this, and it's contingent upon a vote in Suffolk County.
Right.
So these funds are spread across according to who has a fifth penny tax, and currently Suffolk County does not have a fifth penny tax. They allowed them to participate because they have a ballot initiative in May for them to add a fifth penny tax. If their ballot initiative fails, so they don't have a fifth penny tax, Cokeville will be on the docket for just over 1.4 million. If it passes, that cuts in about half, $585,000. Still a pretty good chunk of change, but also what happens if their ballot initiative passes? There's $700,000 that goes back on the table for people to go out back and request, which we would in turn go back and request. Hopefully, don't think they need the money. And if anybody wants to purchase some signs and go put them up and say, well, no, I wouldn't be opposed to it. But then we end up with the 1.4. Right now, the temperature looks like we're gonna end up with the 1.4. Considering what their status of Suffolk County is right now. That could change. There's a lot of time between now and May, and things will change.
Can you educate us a little bit? What's the fifth penny tax versus the sixth penny tax?
So fifth penny tax is sales tax, as an additional sales tax.
Well, it's like a fight to just get the sixth penny. I doubt if they get the fifth penny.
Yeah, see, we have the fifth penny here.
Yeah,
They don't, and
but I'm just saying, as hard as it's been to get people to even understand how that's gonna work, how are they gonna know if?
Well, Suffolk County don't think it's the Suffolk County.
yeah, the other reference is Suffolk County is the third richest county in the state. And their voter know that they have that much money. They have over $30 million in the bank, they're not broke at all.
So it's,
So I would bet that it gets voted down, but they're gonna push because if it gets voted down, they're leaving $6 million on the table off of this one impact fee, so there's a catch-22 there, but I don't think that they're gonna go, yeah, we're gonna have this on there for the next 13 years before. So. It was quite the process and we were a little late to the party because they didn't want to invite us. And we had to do some extra late minute, last minute work and I want to thank our lawyer, John, because he came home from the first meeting and we had to redraft some paperwork at 10 o'clock at night together. And he was willing to do that and there was some recognition for his efforts that he puts in to help benefit our town. And I hope the council will appreciate those efforts.
I do. Can I say something? Corey?
appreciate it from both.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have, the week after you have your meeting, I have friends in Labarge and Kimmer that I go to lunch with every other month. And I went to lunch with some people who attended this meeting that Colby went to. And he said, I hope you are proud of your mayor, because if it hadn't have been for his preparation, Cokeville wouldn't be even in the standing. So Colby has done this amazing thing for this community. And I hope we remember to appreciate him for it. So thank you, Colby.
Also, as a matter of reference, the construction for this project is supposed to start in May. So immediately after the ballot, it'll start being released. They're gonna come in chunks because they're restricted by environmental, but they can only construct. Sage grouse. So it's gonna do, we're gonna be able to enhance our sewer plant to be able to take in septic services from around the county, which would also boost our profits to, enhance the second discharge point so we can have options to go with our water as opposed to straight to the river afterwards. So hopefully it'll benefit Cokeville in the long run.
So, Mayor,
That's all I really have on the impact funds.
Mayor,
Yeah,
I
go
do,
ahead.
I have one complaint on the seating arrangements where you put us over there. Commissioner Bowers and I came back and ended up with COVID a day later, 2 days later. So next time you're sitting next to whoever you put me next to, okay?
Sorry, John.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't me that was sick, just so you know.
Yeah, I know. I think it was on the other side of me, but you kind of chaperoned me over that way. I'm like, I wonder if Kobe knew. I wonder if he could tell.
Well, I don't know if you noticed, but it was like packing sardines in a can in there.
Oh, yeah. Well, so anyway, thank you.
Their facility that they had to house this meeting was a room, probably about half the size of this. And there was probably 60 plus people in there. And it was tight. And hot. And breeding grounds for bacteria, so I'm not surprised you got sick, you know, so yeah.
Thanks for what you do, John.
Thank you, John.
Yeah.
There's something that the state has given out that's recent that I think is good to just let our own community know, maybe put it on their website. And that's the Wyoming owner occupation that just came out on October 1st, where you can get tax year 2026 taxpayers who owns and resides in a single family structure are eligible for an exemption on their property taxes for this year. I think that's important to help our community know that that's out there and to go out and.
It was.
Yeah, it was.
But let's make sure people know about it and go apply for it. If people in in our community that would help them.
I do believe that they did a pretty good push on that.
Didn't we have some of the paperwork on our calendar? Yes, I think so.
Last year, during the election cycle, they were making a pretty good.
Year, if you're 65 and older, it can be up to 50%.
Yeah.
That's a huge savings for our seniors in the community. Anyway, I'm just thinking maybe we should make it easy for them to figure out how to do that.
So last month, we brought up business licenses and how many people in town or have businesses or exercising business here, don't have business licenses. And I asked the question of what the town feels they need.
We went through this deal several years ago when I was on the council. And we kind of determined then that if you're doing any business in town at all, if you're accepting money for what you're doing, you're a business.
Where do you want to go?
And that's kind of the way we left it at that time, so.
Having sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. They're just when you're.
Go ahead.
So I was just talking to another person who's in another city council in another city, just to kind of get a second opinion because I'm doing enough at it. Business licenses are really, it's not a funding thing for a city as much as it's to help with impact of what a business can do. For a prime example, if you've got a business where people are bringing in semis through your town, they're using your roads or using your infrastructure, stuff like that. I know $30 isn't going to be like a big difference, but we have to be. I'll bet you the number one business that's in Cokeville right now doesn't have a license, and it's because it's Amazon. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so I think we need to evaluate what would be considered. If you're domiciled here, I think that's a pretty obvious thing. But if you're doing a service here, that you're doing it monthly and you're driving here, you know, like propane companies or I don't know. The electric, I mean, Rocky Mountain Power should probably have one, right? I mean, they're providing a service. But I'm just saying, like, you have to be kind of careful because, so like, most home-based businesses, if it's a service type business, sometimes those are not business license unless they're domiciled. As far as like someone else doing business here outside of Cokeville, but inside of Cokeville they should be because they're domiciled here. But it's about how it impacts the town, I think, more. And we'd probably have to kind of look at that idea of it instead of just I don't know, food for thought. So
I'm entertaining the thought from the council right now, so.
yeah,
I mean, honestly, this is where our situation is we actually have probably more out of town businesses buying business licenses in our town than we have in town businesses. That are on. Which,
And they're not that expensive.
no, and if you compare our business license to
anywhere
else, we are a fraction. For the cost, so I think it's just a matter of not doing it. And I don't know if it's something we should address. I think we're missing out on opportunity because you mentioned that it's not a funding thing, it's for the impact, which that's what it's
still
for.
funding,
That's where those dollars go to, where they help take care of the potholes in our town, they help take care of the things that we all come in here and complain about. But we're not going to buy a $30 business license for the business that we're making. Like I have a business license, but I have a business that's just for my kids and we make, $10,000 or $12,000 a year on it. And we can't put $30 towards the town because we're bringing stuff into our business. We're causing causing issues on the streets as well, even though it's not in heavy traffic, but we're buying the Amazon packages or the other thing to help support our business, so. I
That is your
think
supply chain.
that's your supply chain business, you know what I mean?
I'm in agreement with you. I mean, if you're domiciled here, it should be a no-brainer.
Well, I'm gonna go to the extent of saying like anybody that delivers propane here, they buy a business license from a Frito-Lay company that delivers chips to the Flying J buys a business license here. So I mean that, if that goes to show you that they respect our laws, our ordinances. More than some of our own residents do, I think that's kind of a wake-up call for us. Go ahead, Cameron.
I think it's comes back to a lot of what the problems out here in Cokeville. It's just all awareness.
Yeah.
You know, there's people that probably haven't ever owned a business. And they don't know all the ins and outs of a business, you know, tax licenses, tax ID numbers, you know, this, that. Oh, I need to get a business license from the town of Cokeville, you know. I think it's just an awareness thing. I think honestly, if people knew, they probably would pay it. I just don't think there's people out there. Yeah, there is probably a small percentage that's in that, you know, but $30. If you can't pay the $30 business fee, in my mind, you shouldn't be in business.
And I would tend to agree with that statement. We also have, Jen, you had a comment.
So I don't know a lot of businesses in Cokeville, so I guess I'm not aware of the businesses that you're talking about, but. So would you consider a kid that mows lawns, would that be a business because he's making money during the summer? Would you require him to have a $30 license for the summer months? I'm just asking a question. Or a kid that has a lemonade stand, you know, they're bringing in money. Where do you start? Yeah, how do you state that?
So
I don't know.
I will say, I did look up a bunch. If it's 18 or younger, they usually don't require young business.
We have an ordinance that states it
It's
pretty good.
does say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Under 18.
The one thing I think we should add though is the soliciting. Someone come knocking on doors, they're supposed to buy a soliciting license.
We haven't got a license.
Hopefully they're presenting it when we do it.
Well, a lot of people aren't buying them. That's the problem.
Let me share this one. I just was looking at, what is the purpose of a business license? And this gives, multiple, revenue generation. It is one, regulatory compliance. Ensure businesses meet local zoning laws, building codes, health and safety. Record keeping creates an official registry of all businesses operating in town, which helps with planning, economic development, emergency services. Tax collection, Wyoming's a little different tax standpoint. Obviously have sales tax, consumer protection, zoning enforcement verifies that businesses are operating in appropriate zone areas and helps prevent incompatible land use, like noise factory, residential. Emergency preparedness, having accurate records of business locations, quality control for certain business types. Licensing ensures minimum standards are met to protect public health and safety. So
just legitimacy, make sure it's legitimate.
And FYI, there are many, many, many businesses in this community.
I guess I gotta find out what the heck's going on about all these businesses. That must be.
I'm sure you had. I had so they
just tell me there's something at the library.
Well, and they just put out like a brochure for the town that has a town representation in it. And there's like something like 100 businesses on that page.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, granted, some of them are out of town businesses that service us. There's for example, there's a Geneva dairy that they sell milk and stuff. They're listed in that, but they service Cokeville, so.
So do they bring stuff to Cokeville or people go there to buy it?
Both.
They would do both if it was.
Because that would make a difference, right?
Yeah.
If they weren't bringing stuff here, that wouldn't mean that they needed a business license here. If you were going there to buy it, I know people that go there to buy it. I didn't know they brought it into our community.
Well, and if her girls and her are cooking up at Pine Creek, you get it there. Cause she brings it, so yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that's where I think the discussions needs to be had by the council. Is that we're trying to get to that common ground where it makes sense.
Well, I think Cameron's right. I think people probably just aren't aware they.
So I suggest that we just, one, when we hear of a business, whether it, no matter how we find out, I just think we send a form letter saying, hey, we've noticed that you're a business in town. We'd like you to comply with the ordinance.
Just do what you did and put it in the water bill, like another line said.
Yeah.
I'll say this, what currently happens is if they've ever had a business license in Cokeville, they get a letter every March.
Oh,
And it's,
yeah, I get one for Wayne.
yeah, it renews, right?
Oh, yeah.
So to renew that business license, it comes in to renew that.
But but I'm just talking about the ones we might not know or you hear of or whatever. Then we just mail it out to them and say, we hear you have this business. Is this an active business? If it is, please comply to the ordinance.
Davis,
If I remember correctly, last year, the town clerk sent some letters to businesses that didn't have a business license. And a very small fraction of them even responded
Right.
yeah,
to that letter.
Maybe it's there are a lot of times when the letter comes through our billing. It just goes to the garbage. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. They don't even have the garbage in there anymore because they hate it. Literally, there's not even a garbage in the post office
we're
anymore.
fully aware of how many of the town bills that the post office are reaching.
So I don't think that's probably our best bet. There's gotta be another way to get that information out. Maybe it's a hand delivered one, I don't know.
I just, that's what the discussion I'm trying to have right now is that we need to come to the common consensus of what we're gonna do, if we're gonna do anything, or if we're just gonna let it ride. I think we're missing out as a town on the opportunities to be able to address the needs of the communities, but we don't have these funds coming in.
Just send them the website.
Yeah, it should be official.
So what what do we have as far as on the books as far as what's the violations?
Have to look.
What's the punitive part of the violation? Do we need to update that?
There is no one that's been decided with doing business without a license. I don't know what the judge said the bond at, but that's not big.
Yeah, and I don't have it right here in front of me right now. So I couldn't tell you. Probably could have come more prepared with that, but I don't have it ready for you.
That's probably $50.
I do know that there's a violation with it, and it is a daily thing. It's kind of like a building permit type deal. It's for every day you do stuff.
I don't know.
It's just never really been enforced on that direction.
I don't know if we need to do a daily thing. Maybe we change it to where it's double the cost. And then it's done until the next year.
Well, I'm more or less looking towards, I don't know if we even need to change our ordinance. There's as opposed to,
We'll just adding the
do we start heavily enforcing our ordinance, or do we just let it ride?
I think we heavily communicate to the community. And then we go from there.
Well, it's like Judge Jensen said a couple of years ago. If you try to wake up an ordinance that hasn't been used in forever, you can't just start having those, fines. You've got to let the community know. So maybe we need to put a copy of that ordinance in it because, I don't know, but that's just a suggestion.
We can wake up an ordinance with the motion of a resolution to begin enforcing to that ordinance.
I think at this point, we do a heavy communication and then we make a decision after that.
Okay, guys,
We could find a lot of, I really think most of our community members, once they're aware of something, will comply. I don't really feel like there might be a very small few.
Well, I think if you're right, Cameron, you're spot on. It's the awareness thing, I do believe.
the reason why I feel it's important that I bring it up is because as I look at the budget, I try to budget towards what our needs are as a town. And with the recent cuts we went under, we've gotta find those dollars somewhere. To be able to maintain what we have and keep going forward.
We keep it equal.
And
You've got some businesses that are paying it and some that aren't.
it's not fair to the ones
Fair to
that,
those who are paying probably, so just to keep it equal.
and honestly, it doesn't do us a justice as a town to be able to advertise or be able to say, hey, yeah, we got this person over here that does this or that or the other. And they don't even contribute to, I guess, the general well-being of that. But I'm looking at every opportunity that we can to be able to recoup the, you know, $60,000 that we've been cut. To see if we can get it back. I mean, this is probably gonna come to the tune of maybe a couple thousand at the most.
Yeah.
But
There's your coins.
There's
that,
part of your coins right there.
but those are the things that
Yeah.
help.
There's your DNS. There's your, I mean,
Well, and that's exactly what I'm trying to say is that we try to help our community members out as well, and we try to give them the best thing we can give them. But I don't think we're asking too much in return, in my opinion. Especially if you compare it to other communities, what they have.
how would you like to educate the town then? Letters? Delivered letters?
First, on that board. I do think that we need to get it out there and broadcast in every fashion we can. The one struggle that I do have is I don't wanna put a burden upon our officers to go out and enforce it. I don't wanna put a burden on our town clerk to say, hey, you're not doing this. Cause I don't think it's a burden. I don't think it's something that should be burdensome to our employees. It should be a
It's a responsibility.
responsibility and a volunteer effort on the community's part.
Yeah.
Like to,
Let's get the beautification. Be-
Oh.
yeah, cause they need one more thing on their burden.
Yeah, I do something for you.
Yeah, there you go. Give them the $2,000.
1%. You can have a 1% royalty of everything.
It's in the registration, it's gonna be up there. I'm just kidding.
So. I moved a motion that we. Educate the business license to the community.
Okay, any further discussion on that?
By all means, excuse me, let me amend it, by all means of communication.
So, don't have to watch the comments, really the sentence.
All in favor of that motion?
Aye.
Charles, you have comments?
I'm just thinking, you know, we did kind of a community survey. Last year and you know, two things that stood out, you know, one is people didn't feel like they were communicated with, you know, we don't have a newspaper, we're short staffed, we've got all those issues and another thing that they felt was that we weren't moving in the right direction. And so I think there's an opportunity from a communication standpoint, I don't call it a state of the town message or something like that, but just kind of reporting, here's what was accomplished this year, here are things that we should be proud of. Here's where we're going, here's how we would expect, you know, from the community in terms of improving engagement. I think on average, the people that attend this meeting, the ones that consistently do, you know, we say, come to this meeting if you want to know what's going on in town. There are 2 people about that come consistently, and when we're off the council, you're not going to come either. You know, this is not an exciting experience.
Starts to be.
I don't know, it gets pretty heated sometimes.
I see that phone use over there.
I'm just thinking, you know, a state of the union.
Jules,
just kind of summary that could include, hey, here's some messaging around things like this. Moving forward, we'll make sure that people are, submitting their business licenses on time. Here's the, just an improved communication. Because otherwise it's mostly secondary, or if they're lucky enough to get, the messages on Facebook. We don't have a good communication process. We're working on that, but I'm just saying, this is part of that whole thing.
I do think our communication with the community has gotten vastly better in the last few months. The community can correct me on that, but I think it's gotten vastly better. I think there's still room for improvement. I will say this, that are some people who will take that as an opportunity to jab. I'm a little concerned about.
Well, and the thought is, that I think if people saw what was happening, if there's some forum for communicating that, then they would feel like, oh, I feel like we're moving in the right direction. That there are plans being made, we're updating, zoning and the beautification being, there's a lot of word of mouth that kind of goes out, and we know that there's danger in that as well. I just wonder if there's a more formal way of community outreach that we could look at, but without a heavy burden, maybe just once a year. I mean, you kind of did at one point on Facebook, you just outlined, hey, here's things that are going on. And I don't know if that's what you're talking about in terms of.
That's what I got.
And you have to be pretty diplomatic, but I just think that would be helpful. Because we have communication gap.
Yeah.
And I think there's an opportunity, just.
So what do you suggest to be the best forum for that?
Can I ask a question from the citizens of our town that are out here?
You got a comment,
Yeah,
Cameron?
I do. I'm sorry that I'm full of comments,
No,
but I agree with Charles, but in the same breath, it is the responsibility of the community members to keep themselves informed. It's not your job to completely tell them everything that's going on, I know until I sat up there, I didn't have a clue what the ordinances were of this community, the laws and ordinances of this community. And after I started learning, it still amazes me what's on there. I mean, that's an ordinance book that should be half the size of what it is. But that being said, it is my responsibility as a community member to be informed on what is going on in my community. Oh, and sometimes I think we give way too much leeway to, oh yeah, they've heard it secondhand. Well, you heard it secondhand. If you really want to honestly know, get informed, get involved, be a part of your community. Don't just sit out there and wait till it comes to you. I think in that sense, we're just entitling a bunch of people to complain about something that they're really not showing that they want to be involved in.
I do think there's a line there of spoon feeding the public and, also just giving them the information that's necessary for them to be able to inform themselves or ask the appropriate questions.
I think using an opportunity. I'm the same. I try to come to meetings when I can't. My schedule doesn't always allow. And if I don't get it, I'll try to ask maybe people who work here, stuff like that, but there isn't really a common location to say, this is what's working on, this is what's updated, this is what's new. If there was that kind of an opportunity, and those of us that don't have as much time, then it is. Then we say, oh, that's where I gotta go. Now I can go look and see. But it's hard to gather info if you're not present, and some people can't be present.
One of the things that we also tried to start doing is posting the minutes, but the problem we have is we cannot post the minutes until after they've been approved by the council, so they're a month behind. Which is a little hard for us to look like we're being transparent when we're waiting a month to post them, right? So, but that's just the way it has to be. We can't put a matter out there until it's official record.
So
Just comment, because, two things can be true. I completely agree with what Cameron said about, citizens have responsibilities. We recognize we have 3% of the town's population in Sweden.
I think you're being generous.
Yeah. You mean, it's like 03.
Here, the Cokeville Register went out of business, but we at one time had a newspaper.
Yeah.
And so I think there's an opportunity I think one of our jobs is to communicate. Maybe I'm a little cynical about citizens coming to these meetings because again, I was very involved for 10 years, rarely attended after that. And I think I'm just saying the problem is our community is not informed about what's going on. They own part of the problem. We have some responsibility as well. So I don't know what the perfect solution is, but other communities have, of course, they have newspapers and things like that. It's a problem I think that we should address so that people, two things, I think they can feel better about the direction the community's taking. And second, I think that they'll tend to be more engaged in some things that would potentially relate to them. So
Exactly, you hit it right there. That meeting I came to when this place was packed, it was because it was something that was affecting them and they had feelings about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Most people just live there.
And it's usually negative feelings that
It
bring them
usually
to.
is. Something happening that's going to affect them personally, they're like, well, it doesn't matter to me. The other thing is, I wish there was a way you could do some kind of a mass thing on phones, because my experience with getting information out to people from the school, letters, oh, I don't pick up my mail, I email, oh, I never check my email, but that phone is always in their hand, and that's why the school does those mass texts.
Mass texts.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, those mass texts. I don't know if that's something you can do as a city, I don't even know if that's possible, but that's where you're gonna get it.
It is,
Right
but you
there.
have to opt in. We can't force it out.
Yeah, you have to
So
opt in,
people at the school, they opt in to have those texts come to them.
and it's a service we have to pay for as well to be able to generate that.
Too bad, because that's really the way to get them.
The reality is the community really does want communications. That's the whole reason why there's Cokeville Girls. I mean,
But you
that's
put
why
up
it was,
there-
but
you ain't kidding.
so I mean. I think what Charles is saying is we just have to have. A vehicle to get there. And I think that, here's the thing, we're gonna get this whole new website. We already are in the midst of it, once it's up. That's gonna be where we want people to learn to go to. We need to educate them. This is where you go to find out information. And we need to stop spoon feeding them. A lot of times you have to teach people that, hey, go look for it. Don't just give them the answer to it all the time, or they'll never look for it. Right? So.
Again, just building on that, the system that we have, Wix, has web or has email capability and it has SMS capability. I've used Wix for years. I sent 4,000 emails out. It's really easy. It's a clean system, and if not this one, others. Our technology is just really good these days for proactive communication. But we want to bring the community's attention to. That's just
And I think more importantly, I think is what forum are we gonna utilize to get that out? I don't. One other thing I wanna be cautious about is how it's being portrayed, cause I think it's important that as we're informing the public, it's not a toot your own horn kind of thing. And I hope I don't ever have to come across that way, but I think it's important that we doing it as a general community. This is what's happened, as an overview, as opposed to, well, Councilman, he did this, and Councilman Lewis did this.
I think to get away from that, you don't put anyone's name to it. You say, this is what has happened.
And that's exactly what I'm trying to say, is that we want it to be a general.
Just an information.
I don't want it to become a credit taking.
Pat on the back program.
Yeah.
And if people want to know, I just looked it up on my phone. Type in the information you need. What is the purpose of a local business license? And it will tell you right there why they're important. So it's a little thing, and people don't think about them. So.
So-
Yeah, if you guys, here's a question, there's a thing called Text My Gov. It's just a program. And if you opt into it, basically when certain services are happening, it just sends out a message. How many people in this room would sign up for it?
What's it called?
Text My Gov. Text.gov or something like that. It's just a program. It's basic. Yeah, for example, if there was something to do with the water, she hits one text and it goes to that system.
Yes, that for sure.
What if you had to pay $2 a month for it?
That's still.
Depends on how good the information
Yeah,
is.
yeah, for sure. There you go.
Girls, it's free.
What? I'll be the only one that signs up. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's gonna be a cost to it, but we gotta figure out how to do that.
Get a $30 business.
All right, I'll just do a $32 business license.
It'll be included in your business license.
Oh, my God.
But if you wanna be the ordinance helper, we'll waive your business license.
So I think we kind of
Yeah.
beat that horse to it. I would entertain ideas coming from the public as well as the council on avenues and forums, so we can get that through. You're welcome to reach out directly to me or even drop your ideas off at town hall and leave with the town clerk. And we can explore those opportunities.
What's the expected timeline? Making a hard push there.
I'm hoping it's this week, Charles.
Yeah, it's done. It's done. It just needs to get connected.
So I think make a hard push there, and if you're not seeing results, and you're trying a different avenue, you already have that,
Yeah.
go there first.
I would tend to agree with that. It's the convenience.
See, the other thing about that is you just make it a message board. It's not where people come back and complain.
Right.
It's just information.
Well, that and we can also just say, hey, if you're interested in anything that's going on and happening in the town, we can post it on Facebook, our Facebook pages and so refer to the website is there. Then the comments aren't coming through on Facebook either.
You can turn off.
Yeah, but you know.
Feathers and then shut off
Hopefully
comments.
get more interest we've had on this.
Yeah.
Streaming, since you've been very few to watch it.
I just had somebody reach out to me and say, what are you doing at the town council meeting? They heard my voice.
There are people that are watching.
I think that's good. Last
elk, actually, that's where you're looking, they're just looking at you.
Yeah. I just didn't know if something was supposed to be up there. The elk is very beautiful.
eventually we'll get it to where we'll post the agenda on it.
Okay.
It's just,
So where do you go to even hear this? I didn't even know about this.
Brad, where do you go to even hear this?
Where do you go?
Cokeville girls.
You,
Not on Facebook.
YouTube, please.
it's just a YouTube. You just have to subscribe. No, it's just YouTube. And you just. Yeah.
Well,
Facebook. So
It's on YouTube.
yeah. I just go to YouTube and.
Yep, you don't even have to have an account. All you gotta do is find Cokeville, WY. And there you go. That's all you gotta do. Find it and subscribe. And here's the cool part. You don't have time tonight to watch it. People watch it tomorrow. People watch it the next day. It doesn't matter. It's there whenever you wanna watch it.
so last month we sent out requests for propane bids and as of yesterday, I didn't check with you today, Tracy, but we hadn't received any back yet. Well,
Do we have a list of who we sent?
no, we sent it.
Who was
That's
this?
in detail. Really?
We sent to, I can tell you most of them off the top of my head, but not all of them. LP propane, Alleywide propane, Salt Rivers propane, High Country propane, P7 propane. Anything,
Salt, is it Salt River?
Salt River.
Yeah.
We have gotten zero replies as of yet. We've started making phone calls to these companies, making sure they got those. Cause we were trying to get them back by this meeting. But if we don't have anything back by the next meeting, we're gonna just have to probably renew our contract with their current propane supplier. Especially because he can set the prices that way.
Yeah.
No.
That's the second.
Sign designs. We have a request for an executive meeting. So,
Yeah, I would like to.
okay, we need to state the purpose. If you enter a new.
Okay. I do want to
Personnel, whatever, legal, whatever.
make a motion that we go into executive session to discuss some personnel and information. Yeah, it won't be long.
Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
We will break for executive session. We'll be back to it.
It won't be long.
We'll just reconvene and probably.
Good night.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey.
Great meeting. Hey, Charles, I'll try to be back again. Are you licensed to have Steamboat on our logo? Yes.
Yeah, if you don't now, well, then.
Yes. We have to license. Yeah, license, okay, okay. It's the fucking worst. Let's call it. Here it is, look, yeah. My sister-in-law just like drew that up. Anyway, that's the part for me, but it's some issue.
What else is unique to Cokeville?
Yeah. I didn't even offend it.
No. So. You also have a big guy.
Yeah,
Big
yes,
guy.
that's why I was like. That's what we just said. I had ChatGPT. That's why I was like, okay, so it's a little bit different than just Steamboat. Because Steamboat is like, you do have to be licensed to use it, and it's Wyoming to me. And I love seeing, and when we're somewhere, and I'm like, Steamboat, like, that's what I mean. I see, that's why I said, I didn't even know it was our town logo, it was Wyoming's logo, basically.
I have to look at it. We have here.
Just the microphone shop.
Oh, yeah, hey, stay on that.
Okay.
Treeses is still on, and so it's called.
It's a little bit different, I guess. It's like, it's this one on.
Yes, that was.
It doesn't matter when you're talking.
Cause I was like, this
The
is.
Zoom
like,
still on,
with the
everybody's
Steamboat
here.
in my heart, you know?
I think that, but I think the fish
But is it like-
is the leading thing.
So what is it? Do you know what it is?
Like that, so it's like a bar.
I brought up the.
That would be good to know.
Stand, what it stands.
Yeah.
I know we have some pins.
That would be good to know. So we would just put that information out there and say, these are what it is.
Don't mess with my son, I thought.
You can, you can. We're coming for you next. Yeah. Just kidding. I know we have enough on our plate right now. We're like, you know, that have like, well, I mean, you can have a strong attack on this one. That's over there like there. Right. It's around something, but.
You won't.
Okay, and I'm trying to speak, so I want to even look, you need to look at it. Or sound, yeah, your public works on, how would that?
See his badge on his hat?
Okay.
That's on his shoulders.
Told me with, so it's just like, up.
So it's just, this inside, that's the fucking house.
Okay.
So she made this patch, he made it just the painting. So that's why I was like, last time, because.
Do you have this? Okay, no. Yeah, was that, but you could send us in for the next 50 years. We might as well.
It's a PDF of JPEG.
It's a PDF of. Well, you still work.
Yeah.
Because-
Try to keep it all consistent.
And that's why I brought it up.
Yeah.
It's just- You need to change it to that because that's from the board side.
From like a-
From the side of the trucks, from the doors, that's what's on there.
Even if we kept this, what you want, it's, it goes there, you know, so to keep
Stuff like that.
Just major.
Yeah, you're not, so.
He can text me, we'll- Yeah.
Yeah. But on, probably.
Yes, just.
Pretty sure.
But
If nothing else, I've got scanned, I've got.
what are you guys' thoughts on this?
You know, have you seen, it's just like, yes, just, it's not, nothing, you don't care, this is what it's supposed to be about.
And it's all, the Buckley Bronco
If that's not approved, we'll.
is on
All
our.
of it, and the artist is gonna be
On the
really-
dollar.
Right, you have it on your app, but it would just,
So
it
as
is
far as.
welcome field range, or like Cokeville, looks like open range. Do you know what I mean, where you'll see that on there a lot, where there's not.
It's sometimes.
So you put the the letter. Right. Yes, yes, so that's what we, this fall, we need to slight about that bigger for us. They were already paying that.
Yeah.
Right, so that's what all the both our centers, so that's.
Okay.
I know, we were like.
All right, to me, that's what I think, you guys first talked, maybe it could be.
Like that's
So
what
were
I said.
those, I mean, they were facing about,
Was that the differentiates us from a little bit tougher than.
Yeah.
Is that right?
We've been there forever, which means we're gonna have to wait the year after we got it.
Exactly.
I was like. Oh my god.
Maybe they're a mistake.
Colors, font,
This safe with Main Street.
side.
Yes, yeah, and that was perfect. We had to have it. Yes, yeah, I just had checked, just playing around, obviously like video with her and. That's not exactly, but just, but it's just, I mean, it's not gonna break. I don't know. But it's roofs on, it's, but I thought, how is it still, how do you, what else, what do you have to do on city home? Yes. You want to get from.
It's something that can be added
Yeah.
that keep the same.
$1,000 project. Well, yeah.
How are you gonna?
So it would be up.
So talk about leaving a small. Transportation that I'm on.
Yeah, so we're in parking.
So those.
Talk about
And
being-
then like, maybe, because I said, like, there's no emotional,
So we're like,
let's just go down this
and do.
no. Yeah. Outside, that's true. It's not.
Going down to a sevens open range, up the Canes open
Right.
range, like, but inside the city limits is. No,
Right.
it's just.
Yeah, right, yeah, exactly.
And I know it's. It's sort of.
How we got it.
Yeah, there is also Cokeville, yeah, I don't know.
Maybe
I'm
it's-
just ready for that, but actually, yeah, so
What is?
we'll see, but. I like that, okay, we won't, maybe we put that in here too, and then even then, like, they have to. It's. That's, you know, you're.
Here's another statement.
I don't know.
Which is fire extinguisher.
No, bring your chewing gum in competition. We totally are.
So you can pound the nails
Yeah.
fastest to
Like, yeah, you're not there till last night. I'm like, Bill's still out there, Mike, get out. Gosh. He's going to North Dakota next week, that much, so he's trying to get lunch done. Running out of bad weather. But he's also just winging it, and I can't do that. I have to be like, okay, how exactly? Is it, I don't know, they're like, where are you putting your kitchen windows? I don't know. I'll put them out later. I'm just getting these walls up. I'm like, well, there you go. You're gonna be gone. So I am way more. I'm gonna process it all, visualize it all, draw it all.
Sound goes. They're down in lights over there.
Oh.
Yeah, they're fine.
Oh my gosh. The snow coming, you guys do what you got to do.
She passed to work 1920 hours a day, so.
That's what Mike says. Like, I don't understand why your dad's always worked the hours that he has, because when you're in the groove and trying to get something done, you just do it.
My dad's convinced to really express it at night now. Like that's must be his time.
Like 70.
Yes. That's why, that's the shade.
And I am not.
It's a date and date.
It is a circadian rhythm.
You go down Dayton Drive after midnight and there's 4 houses with lights on, and the rest of town was dark. And like everybody down there was still up, seriously. Grandma was, and Carol was, Charlie, of course, is up for like 2, but like
Yeah,
everyone was up.
Some people do better.
I didn't, I'm a nice person.
Yep.
Next day, one bed with the chickens, lady, 7:30.
Oh, dang. Sorry, then. That is the saws and the hammers and the.
Yeah.
I'll tell Brady, he don't hear it.
But such, so I'm like, I need to look at this. Pretty fast, look at this, and he's like, I can't see, turn on your trip lights. It'll be okay. Yeah, well, all right, bouncing, look back, see ya.
Yeah.
Find a way to find windows for that before. Tomorrow.
So, what is it?
Maybe he's going now. My phone. It's just like my,
Go to wrestling practice on the 22nd.
I was thinking, why not get my phone already?
Yeah, fall practice starts.
I haven't wrestled since high school. That's the problem.
Well, there you go, you get in shape.
No, the curtain for 3 days after, that's the.
Well, them two right there, you could, that just left, you could wrestle with them.
They do it down in Diamondville every, I think, Wednesday. And they always tell me if I want to go over, I could. And it's too far away to just be wrestling for 45 minutes. But they're also a little bit more, not necessarily severe, but they're very intense when they do it. So. See, machine. Wow, it's 90 of this. Two weeks to close it. But I don't know anything much. Open the song. Or he's. It's that. Is he got injured? He felt it's injury inducing. Because he. Jumped in my head, jumped on with me, I said, I don't. Birds. That's what they call it. What do you? It's not big. I don't know.
Oh, I'm trying to find. What? We're in-
I wanted to make sure they fit with one. And it says something nasty. And she goes, no, no, no. So better. I said, what about that one with you?
That was the state.
Why that was in there a couple of times, there's a reason why.
Seriously, mother? I said, "Well, she come out." Cherry kept burn all day long.
So Matt burned out there when I called him. You know, I just forgot to call the fire department, they usually call when I'm burning. Alright, well. Just letting you know, the one time you don't call apparently is the time that someone saw it. I was like, when I went out, I only saw 3 going,
Well, as long as they call dispatch, I don't care if we know.
and he didn't call dispatch either. So that's why I was like, we'll just let someone know, so that way if we get a call, then we can let them know, but just. I forgot to call you, let you know that it was fine, but I was hoping that. I didn't call you or you didn't get a call out that it was all good, but yeah, there was only 2 going. There was a third one that I saw that looked like it was just about to go out. So when I talked to him, he said he had 7 going. So I'm like, oh, well, I only saw a couple, so must have been going out. The field's wet enough that even if it started to go, it wouldn't go very far, so. And we said it would come out.
If I have to reprocess how to write it.
It's waiting on Jewel. No.
You were passing along the sand out here.
Competition, to who says meeting adjourned? You gotta.
We gotta reconvene first.
Make a motion to
reconvene.
I second it, thank you.
Motion by Wayne, seconded by Teresa, all in favor?
Aye.
Now can we go home?
Make a motion to adjourn.
I second it.
Motion by Wayne, seconded by Teresa, all in favor?
Aye.
That's simple.
Just so you know, I didn't have anything to say today, so
Okay.
thanks for asking.
Oh, I forgot.
That's not true, you did.
I did have something to say.
Oh,
You did?
Yeah.
Why didn't you speak up?
Hey, we can,
we can
we
reconvene.
can read.
In the past,
Reconvene.
there's been an employee dinner around Christmas time.
Oh, yeah.
We gotta reconvene.
Yes. We're gonna reconvene. Make a motion to reconvene, yeah. I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
I don't have anything else to say.
Please, you're on the docket.
Yeah.
please.
The only thing I had to say was, in the past, there was an employee dinner.
That is
Have you
correct.
guys
In the
thought about
past, there
that?
was an employee dinner, and I'm glad you said something because it was actually gonna be brought up, but I forgot.
It wasn't on the agenda.
It was not on
Wasn't
the
on the
agenda.
agenda.
I was waiting to see if you'd bring it up. Table it and next meeting.
I'll tell
Well, by the
you,
next meeting,
No.
it'll be almost too late to have an.
Yeah.
I haven't,
Let's-
you still have.
Let's amend the. Yeah, that's what we'll do.
Well,
Well,
we just need to have a
good day.
discussion for a day.
For a date. So I have my December right here.
First is on Monday.
The what?
the first is a Monday.
You guys decide, I'll be there.
And,
Yeah, my schedule will be clear, whatever day you guys pick, that's.
and I have there's a Legion Auxiliary Christmas dinner on the 1st. There's ward Christmas parties on the 3rd
Second.
and the 2nd. There are, school Christmas play on the 18th.
I'm pretty sure, let me look.
Well, looks like you're not gonna get to eat.
You know, the past was done on Monday, say you've gone to Buffalo.
You're what?
Yeah, we've
On
got,
Monday, we've gone to Buffalo.
Yeah, cause they usually close down in the winter time for special parties on Mondays, right?
yeah.
So
But
that
there's
is the
the
8th or 15th. Can't do it on the
18th. Why?
I got 5 more.
Oh, on the 8th.
Well, we're more important than
Oh.
What's on the, so what's on the,
So.
what is on the 1st?
I do have to talk to you about
Auxiliary
something, Mike,
Christmas.
too. Don't
The
let.
Legion
don't get shut up.
Auxiliary. Well, if you were veterans, it's like-
Is the only day.
I'm secretary of the Women's Auxiliary for the veterans.
This month? 15th of December.
Yeah.
That's a Monday.
That's it.
22nd, or the 22nd.
22nd is the school, oh, that's during the day.
Yeah, the 22nd is the fire.
They decided to-
22nd
It
is
is.
the Monday.
Is that the
That-
fire
22nd
Christmas?
Is the fire dinner.
Okay, and it's also the school Christmas parties.
So what's on the 15th?
Nothing.
I will make some calls to are we okay with going to the diner? I think it's important we support our local town.
I do.
I do too. I'm agreeing with that.
I guess we need to check with Buffy.
I would check with Bussy. So option number 1 is Monday the 15th. What's the first? First, something you can and cannot.
She hasn't.
I can't, I have the Veterans Legion Auxiliary Christmas that night.
Come on.
What can I say?
Okay, I just don't know her availability, so. I guess we'll check other options. I'll have her give other options and we can send it out in an email. We just need an approval, motion to. Employee dinner.
I move that we,
Preferably on the 15th if possible.
I move that we make a motion that we have an town employee dinner. Preferably on the 15th at the Buckle, if available.
Second,
I second.
all in favor?
I,
Aye.
And just FYI, I was gonna bring this up earlier, I will be in Wisconsin the 8th through the 10th, which is during the meeting, and so I can either zoom in or miss it, or
I think,
I don't think you want to change the whole.
gotta be right here.
did the Zoom, did you guys feel like the
It
Zoom
worked
with
fine.
John worked fine tonight?
Totally
Yeah.
was fun.
Okay.
Just so you know, every time he talked, he was on the screen.
That's okay.
No, I'm just saying, it works perfect.
Yeah. Good.
So anyway, I don't know if you probably don't want to move a meeting for me. I don't know if there are any really big
I almost wish
decisions
we
that need
did,
to be made.
I almost wish we did 2 meetings in November and just. We had a vacation for December.
Usually the December meeting's pretty quick, cause all we really do is approve both bills and. We don't really have any major discussion, cause we're trying to not have resolutions or ordinance changes.
Right.
Going into another year,
I know,
so,
I second that.
just so you know.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I think.
She'll still.
Okay.
Right.
So now we
Make the
adjourn.
motion
Motion
to
to re-adjourn.
re-adjourn. Re-adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
That was by Grattan's reason, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, mine,
Did you find anything?
What's that? One second.
So Eric and Davis and I were sitting at the park.